Hello, this is the desk of Lucia Arden here in Arizona. This is the divine command. The divine command is that we need today to negotiate with Netanyahu and Hamas. We need to bring in a mediator that will be able to mediate, a leader of the Muslim country with Hamas. We need to get all the leaders of Hamas lined up and make negotiations with them to leave the areas, all the areas of Gaza and all the areas. And we need to give them funds, money. The Muslim country, the Muslim leaders, those beautiful men that came, 50 or 60 came a couple months ago. I asked, my name's Lucia Arden, and I'm here to help to mediate. I'll be there. You tell me and I'll be there to mediate. We need to come together, and Netanyahu and the leader that's going to be the mediator, the leaders need to come together and stop this war right away. We need to give, I believe, funds to Hamas to stop. But I believe the Muslim leaders need to come together, whether each of them give $500,000 of those 50 leaders came and they came to Israel and they came for the meeting to stop the war. Each, depending on how much money they have, they need to give $500,000 or $1 billion, $500 million to get this going right away. We need to give funds to get, I don't believe in generally doing this to give funds to do hostages. Or we need to return all the Palestine, the ones that are in jail, incarcerated and held, and returned, but they cannot be released in Gaza. They need to be released and be out of the country to exchange prisoners right away. But I believe that there needs to be a leader, a Muslim leader, and a leader that is experienced with the Muslim culture, or another leader together. And I'll be there to bring negotiations to trade hostages and to stop the war and to get all Hamas military out. I agree. Netanyahu saying that it has to be anti-military area. There cannot be any military anymore. We just have to stop. We have to stop this. But this is terrible. These protesters don't realize in our own America the severity of what Israel in the hostages in the Palestinians are used as a shield, and I said a psychological shield. I saw that on the people on the news. I told you it was a psychological tool that they're using for the whole world. That's why there needs to be the Muslim leaders to come back, and they need to do negotiations and each give them monies and a place to live for these Hamas militant, to get them out of Gaza. I believe they should be out. And there needs to be new laws that they respect each other, the Palestine people that need to respect the Israelites. And we need to have the Israel man police the place, not Hamas. Can't you see? I asked before. My name's Lucia Arden, and I was so grateful they all came there. And you can hear my song. I moan and I groan like in the times of the Old Testament when they sang the Psalms, and when their brother or sisters or children died because of war. And that beautiful, beautiful mother and all the beautiful people. And they lost these hostages. These people were innocent. This has to be stopped because this shows the history of the way we deal with hostages. Internationally, not just America. It's the way we deal with hostages, and then it will be accepted. So what I'm saying, brothers and sisters, I'm saying that number one, we need to bring back and revisit all the Muslim leaders, and they need to integrate monies and help pay to get the Hamas out and give them a place to stay, a place to live outside of Gaza. And we need to get all those hostages out. And then we also need to trade hostages, any other people that the Palestinians and also the Hamas, Iranian. We need to, if there's hostages there are incarcerated prisoners because of their crimes, we need to trade right away. But they cannot stay in the country of that area when they're released. This is very, very serious. It has to be done. This is actually a divine command. A divine command. That this is a divine command. That this has to be done. So I'll repeat. My name's Lucia, Arden. I'm here. I'll go over there and help mediate. Okay? If you want me to. But I need to know. There has to be. All the Muslim leaders come back. They have to negotiate again. Each of them have to dish out funds, monies, and a plan to take each, let's say, each and all the military, Hamas military, and leave Gaza and give them a place to stay. Okay? To leave the country and stop the war. And then there needs to be funds that are delivered. I don't believe America should give the funds. I believe the Muslim leaders should give the funds to pay off Hamas. Those are their brothers and sisters. America's already protected their area too, their life too, because Hamas is not friends with all those Muslim countries. They're against them. Those beautiful men, they all came, they were beautiful. They want to keep their culture. They want to keep their peace. But there needs to be movement and action of negotiation, of strategy right away. And then we need to trade prisoners right away. There cannot be any more killing. This is true. Now this is a solution because those Muslim men, when they came, they were beautiful and trying to talk about what was going on. And of course, we know there's war crimes, but we need to make solutions. And I believe with their ancient history of God of Abraham, because they believe in the God of Abraham, even though they're Muslim. And I don't believe in all the rules and regulations of their Quran. But we need to come together and work together in peace. But strategy, and there's a strategy. In any negotiation, you need an intermediate mediator. Netanyahu had to carry the world on his shoulders. Do you realize that this is dealt with ISIS and Iran? They give money to Hamas to keep them going. Netanyahu is holding the world on his shoulders. People don't realize they do those protestings in the university because they want to take over different parts of the world. Not only Europe, but they'll come and get their own Muslim brothers. And there's many Muslim across the world. Your Muslim brothers will be, and sisters will be in danger. Netanyahu has carried the world on his shoulders indirectly because Hamas is hooked up with ISIS and Iran. We already went over that. We know this now. And they threaten us to take over America, to take over many areas of our world. Not only is Europe and certain areas of Europe in trouble, but all America, and that's why the protesters at universities got to stop this. They were so happy. Another thing that we need to really look at for new laws. Did you see they were happy that the hostages died, the protesters? That's completely opposite of really what the purpose of the protesters in America for the Palestinians to protect them, to stop the war, so no one will die. That was the main reason why they seemingly had the protesters, but they were paid. That was a very sophisticated structure, paid. But they were happy. Did you see that? In New York, that the protesters were so happy because the hostages died. This should be a new laws. And I talked about new laws because of the globalization and technology and information systems. And we haven't made enough laws. And globalization, multiculturalism, different religions, different cultures, they don't respect their own area where they live. They should be incarcerated. This should be, or they should be in a place and warned not to do that. They should be warned. Let's say they don't have laws yet. They should have a warning. If they do it again, then they should be incarcerated. Because, again, you know how the protesters, they said they were protesting because they don't want killings of the Palestinians? None of us do. None of us do. Netanyahu and the Jews protect that area all these years. Did you know that they were making a nuclear substance, uranium, a leader in Iran? And they obsoleted him out. They killed him and found him. They're the one that supported all that area for all these years and kept it strong. So of course we don't want any more killings in the Palestinians, but we need to negotiate right away, because there's many contraindications. I told you, it's now the protocol, the way hostages are, needs to be rectified. It's not good in the history for all nations. The Muslim I don't want to say brotherhood, because the Muslim brotherhood are ISIS, but the Muslims of the beautiful countries, of all those men that came, beautiful people that came, and they try to keep their culture. They want peace. They're not doing it, but they need to help, because that's their brother from the bloodline of being Muslim. And we need to work together. It says in Proverbs, the more counselors you have, the more answers will be answered. We need to come together right away and work on this right away. Do you understand what it needs to be done? I repeated it 4 times. And then everyone needs to fast and pray. Everyone needs to fast and pray. And they need to seek righteousness. Everyone needs to find what they did wrong to the person, what they took from the person, what they abused to the person, and reconcile. And if they can't do it because they've had crime, it was too criminal, that they need to stop and pray and ask God to forgive them. I believe in the blood of Christ, but it's all over the world now. This mentality is in every nation, every home, every cornerstone is marred by the blood of war, because people like Hamas came and did terrible war crimes. And they've done this before. And there was very serious atrocities the way they did the crimes. We don't need to go over all that, but now we have solutions. This has to be done. I need your help, brothers and sisters of the Muslim countries. I need you to share your funds, to line up. Everyone give a certain amount of money, whether it's $500,000 to $1 billion, and you get those Hamas out, and you get them out. And whether it's $1 million for each one, and they have to leave the country, and then they need to exchange prisoners. This has to be done, because we don't want any more war. Netanyahu has carried the world on his shoulders. People don't realize this is ISIS that wants to take us, take America, take parts of Europe, and even their own brothers and sisters. Saudi Arabia, Greece, Egypt, all the areas. This is very serious. We need to come together in truth and reconciliation. Now, this is it. We're going to ask the brothers and sisters of the Muslim countries to come together and negotiate again, to be a mediator, to help have Hamas leave. Okay? And then you're going to give them something, because they need, it's human nature, even though they're criminals and they've killed, bloodthirsty killing, the worst criminals that you could be. But it is part of their culture. There's no justification of what they did, but they need to be taken out, and we need to help them take them out. Okay, just like criminals go to jail and they have to be removed from their countries and their cities. That's the same thing, and they go to jail and they're put in jail until they realize that they think that they're ready to go out to the real world. We need to remove Hamas from that area, all those people. And there needs to be a negotiation with the prisoners, whether we exchange the prisoners, but the prisoners that we let loose that are Hamas are Iranian, they cannot be in the country of Israel. They have to be in a different country. This is very, very serious. These are ideas and valid conclusions that could be done. My name's Lucia Arden, and when I sing very high notes for a big coliseum or a big audience, and I sang and moaned and groaned about this in the beginning. And this is very, very serious. It needs to be taken care of. Thank you so much. So today, I believe if we can get the spirit of truth, the spirit of reconciliation, when we abuse someone and took advantage, that it will flow to all parts of the world. This is what happens. And so we need each one of us say, what did we do to that person to abuse them, an innocent person, and we didn't reconcile with them, or we took advantage of them, they were innocent, and we are still doing it. We need to stop, each one of us, and we all need to pray and fast, because this is all related to the God of Abraham, and we need to come together in truth and justice. Thank you so much. This is Lucia, Arden.com and AriseToGod'sTruth.com. I'm a political analyst, politician, and mediator. Please look me up, and we're having an event, International Unity and Justice. God bless you. Thank you.